I was out in the garden this morning, really early, with my trusty weed whacker. I used to have a fairly lovely perennial garden, and when I got sick, it just disappeared, basically, or it looked like it disappeared into the weeds, into, I have oregano out there that's taken over the world, so it was a, and I just couldn't have balance issues, so I couldn't, you weed whack, I'd be like, but I got out there this morning, and I did a little bit. I didn't do as much as I wanted to. I've been trying to get other people to do it for me, and it was like, yeah, absolutely, we can do that. And months later, nothing. So I just realized this morning, it's on me. It's my yard. It's my garden, whether it's, in full bloom and lovely and I can take pride in it, or whether it looks like shit and I can feel guilty. And maybe the truth is I shouldn't either way. Let go of pride and let go of guilt and do what you can. I had written down, I think that this was from Mary Jo, who's a reader on a channel called Soulful Revolution. She's the nuts. If you haven't checked her out, you should. To get out of a karmic cycle, return to the scene of a crime, of the crime. And I think she got it from somebody else. I mean, we all, pass these things along. Is there any original thought? I don't know. But I think that's an important one, that you don't get out of it by ignoring it or fleeing from it or running away or denying it or blocking it. You go back to it. Because there's something, if you're stuck in it, there's some lesson that hasn't been learned yet. And we stay in that loop until we go back to the kind of seminal thing that we're trying to, lesson we don't want to learn, a truth we don't want to hear. Not sure, is this it? Okay. So let's find out. Sorry, I have a big itch. Work in the garden. Not to recoup the old garden, because that's lost in time. And I can accept that. But to at least clear the deck, enough of a clean slate, the tabula rasa, the empty canvas, so you can begin to recreate something that fits me now better. I can't, I'm having trouble. It's a good thing we don't have shoes with laces anymore. It's like, oh man. I had also written down, you're old enough for your wants not to hurt you. This was advice given my siblings by a caretaker who was in our household before I was born. And yet those words came down to me. Old enough for your wants not to hurt you. I mean, do they hurt? And is it a question of chronological age that you're able to accept that you can't always get what you want, or old enough for your wants not to hurt you? So let's see where that all takes us. Return to the scene of the crime. Knight of Cups. Well, could be a return to the scene of some connection that didn't go our way, where it seemed to violate the laws of nature. This is a crime against humanity. But I think this is rediscovering something about raising, cutting down the old detritus, the old, what was obscuring the growth, and weeds were running rampant. It's like there was no control at all. Knight of Cups, love on the move. Return to the scene of the crime. I'm not sure where that begins. So maybe none of my, I mean, this happens, none of my forethoughts pan out in the reading. Five of Wands. That's a struggle. You know, there are all these possible ways of doing something, and this is a card of trying to work it out. How do we do this? You know, it's acrobatic. It's like a Jenga. If you pull out one person, the whole thing collapses. So while they're vying, people are vying for how to do something or what to do, there's a weird kind of consensus here because they've built, it's like a, you know, they've improvised. Five of Wands can be a card of working something out. And I think these people, they're working for change. Fives indicate a need to change. And somehow they're interdependent, not codependent. It's a situation of interdependence. You know, for the structure to stand, everybody has to be not doing the same thing, but fulfilling a certain role. What needs to change? It is the Page of Pentacles. Start from scratch. You know, something was only very sketchily constructed. There wasn't enough raw material to make it happen. You know, we've got these incomplete walls, and one could suggest, well, that can be a good thing. You know, the boundaries are permeable. We work at achieving some kind of consensus. Okay, under Knight of Cups, King of Cups. That's like an upgrade. That's, you know, if the Knight of Cups is somebody coming forward with a love offer, this is coming from, you know, like the horse's mouth from the one who feels it. It's a fairly direct message. And there may have been a struggle to work out how to begin. I think there had been a false start. You know, many tries. Because this is also a card of practice. Okay, is it this one? Under Five of Wands, we have, sorry, I can't read it upside down, Nine of Wands. That's somebody, can be, who's not giving up. You know, one more time, like take it from the top. We will work this out. That's what this card can mean, exactly. We'll work this out. You know, I'll work it out. We'll work it out. Don't give up. What's that? We can work it out. Life is very short and there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friend. Oh, it's the Beatles. I have always thought that it's a crime. So let me ask you once again, return to the scene of the crime. You know, just when I'm putting it together, I have to flub it. Not giving up. On love, evidently, King of Cups, not giving up. Willing to try it again. You know, to take another run at it. Knight of Cups. To start from scratch. Or at least to pick up where I left off. These incomplete structures. Sorry, I have a bug bite or something that's just won't quit. Okay. we have 10 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. Well, not giving up yet, and now I've done it. You know, I've taken it on. I did everything I could. And the only thing I can do now is to, I mean, 10 of Wands is a card of letting go, completing the cycle and putting down the burden. So this person maybe has been trying to close out a cycle in which I think this person felt like they were a victim, because this can be the victim mentality. And they may have been a victim, but they didn't give up. They saw it through. I think this person has great integrity. You know, they're not just going to drop a connection and walk away. So they may have had to, wounded warrior, make a certain sacrifice to not give up before it was really done and dusted. On King of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. That's a methodical, you know, it takes a long time. There's a way to go, but, you know, the highway just disappears into the horizon. We don't know if this person is coming or going because, in fact, they're not headed in either direction. They're facing this way. On the board, they're facing toward the King of Cups. I'm getting like the King of Cups may be connecting to somebody who felt like they waited too long. You know, it's sort of like, I mean, we have the moon phases up top. I think this was oh so many moons. I think it was something like this other person didn't move, so I couldn't move either. I didn't know if I was going forwards or backwards. You know, it's like not being able to get a read on this situation. Six of Cups on 10 of Wands, card of the soulmate. Card of the past, of nostalgia, of somebody we've known and loved a long time. You can hear that. That's the chimes going off. I'll call it back. It's my daughter. So 6 of Cups can indicate a return. This figure is getting bigger and bigger, as if they're coming back, quite a circuitous path. But there's something sacred about this connection, like the pyramids. And the pyramids are lighting up. They're finding their way, their circuitous way. I think that's the King of Cups, but I'm not sure. Let's see, can we clarify who's who on Knight of Cups? Okay, hang on. We have 8 of Pentacles. Long time. while somebody was trying to figure out how they were going to do this Wands energy, the other person, and I think it's an earth sign, doesn't have to be, but somebody who's grounded and has turned to their own work. You know, I can't be wasting time, Pentacles energy, perhaps, 8 years. I mean, how much time do we think that we have on this planet to be, 8 years? If it's your kid, if it's your mother, if it's your father, there are certain relationships we don't give up on. But some we do. And it's a question of how do you discern? There is an element of time's a wasting. And this, let's just call him an earth energy person, is not going to waste time. The King of Cups thinks that there's time to rebuild this. Is there time to rebuild this? Tower. Well, that could be a yes or a no. Tower can mean now. Tower can mean this won't sustain itself. The foundation wasn't strong enough. And that sure looks like what might be going on here with these partial, like foundation walls that weren't even joined together, that weren't stable, and down it came. And Tower is usually a card of release, like released energy. I see it as Scorpio energy. Water energy, that Knight of Cups. I don't know. I think maybe somebody missed the boat here. Is it this one? On 5 of Wands? 3 of Pentacles. Working out a chance to cooperate. What are our intentions? Where do we want to take this? In 3D. How do we reach a consensus, an agreement to build something? I think one person is miffed and ready to, give up the ghost. But there's something about returning to the scene of the crime. And listen, soulmates part ways. They come together, they part ways, maybe over lifetimes. That card has the tinge of that. And it transforms every time you have to begin again. It's not from the same place. The same place is gone. The old way we used to do it, not big enough. And we do see this, a little tiny figure on, I don't know, you can't see it, but on the path. Like there's a survivor. Looks a bit like this figure. The one who wants to rebuild. So there was a dramatic change, somebody may have lost faith and turned to their own life. 8 of Pentacles. Having tried to work out this cooperative thing, ready to try to rebuild this thing that they sensed was shaky, and they didn't get to it in time, but it was a good thing. This whole operation, I think, needed to go slowly, and maybe did take, if you believe in that kind of thing, lifetimes to gain traction. Has it gained traction? On 9 of Wands. Queen of Cups. Well, that's amazing. 6 of Cups. King and Queen of Cups, they're right next to each other on the board. That's King of Cups holding on to that. Holding on to that. I mean, I think he was trying to draw her back in. We feel for each other. Don't give up. I mean, I hate to say that because there are people out there who maybe ought to give up. I'm maybe one of them. And so I don't think you could, I think if you don't tap into your own intuition to decide whether this reading's for me, it's your decision, not my decision. I'm just up here throwing cards. That's all I'm doing. But it looks like somebody will return. And that this is a significant relationship where you really do care about each other. And there may have been an epiphany around that recently. In Scorpio season, which is just now closing out, somebody may have had the epiphany. This tower can be that the feeling suddenly, boosh, popped to the surface. And I think in part because somebody took the debris, you know, all the heaviness that was clogging this thing up, all the ways of trying that didn't work, all the disagreements about how to do something, Five of Wands. That burden was just laid down and the cycle was closed out. And it might be the cycle with the soulmate. It could be that there's been some kind of dramatic emotional change. That puts these guys into alignment with open hearts, open arms. I think that's probably it. Ace of Swords. Well, that can be a card of finding the truth, of speaking the truth, of being willing to hear a truth. Maybe something that allows for, finally, cooperation, you know, here and now in this lifetime. All these past life references or just relationships from the past. This is the new thing, the new way of looking at it. New way of looking at it. Devil card, Capricorn. You know, Devil is often the card of, you know, not being able to move, being stuck, being confined, being tied up, being dependent rather than that codependent energy we saw at the beginning. It's a card of hard work. Capricorn, you know, willing to work with what holds us back, willing to work to free ourselves, to do the work. Yeah, there's a planetary thing involving Capricorn into Aquarius, but I'm just going to leave it right there. Tell us about Devil and the struggle to find common ground on the basis of what knowledge or what truth or what understanding. Fool. Star. I think we had that combination the other day. In any case, this is a card of Aries, of taking the leap, taking the risk into the unknown. And Star card is a card of great clarity, Aquarius. Capricorn can be an energy of this is how we've always done it. Return to the scene of the crime. You know, in order to unlock this truth. Major Arcana card of truth and clarity, healing, being guided to where you're supposed to be, having worked out, Eight of Pentacles, what holds you back, having figured it out, because there is this sword energy clarity, hearing the guides, trusting that your destiny is mapped out in some way, not like relieving you from that choice moment to moment, what it is. I mean, in our daily life, do we have to figure out something, perhaps for a long time, before we can move forward? Sometimes is it a snap decision based on some kind of intuitive hit? We have to get clarity to begin. And this is that business, to build it from scratch. Rebuild it after something brought a way of doing things or a way of expressing feelings to the ground. That's a wonderful way to end it. Yeah, take the leap. Where was that 10 of Wands? I thought there was a big, oh, okay, I guess it's this. There's a lot of red here. And I don't know quite what that means. Red is a card of passion, fire energy, the courage to begin, and the courage to attend, sword energy, to hear the truth. I think the guides are chatting in somebody's ear. You want to rebuild this? Get on it. Jump on it. Do it. Do it now. At least begin, because it's going to take a while to work it out. Either somebody working out, how do I approach Knight of Cups with some kind of love offer, and somebody trying to work out whether they want to take the time to rebuild this thing. Eight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. Because it will take time, Pentacles. I love you guys. And yeah, we broke 5,000 subscribers the other day. That's stunning. And thank you so much. If you haven't done it already, you hit the subscribe button. All it does is give you a chance to get notified when I upload a video. It doesn't cost you anything. It supports the channel. It helps it circulate. So if you like it, hit that button. And then there'll be bells. And you can decide when and if you want to be notified when I upload. I hope to see you next time. And we're going to keep growing in any case. I love you. I'll see you.